Yeah, exactly. Now you know the reason.
Well, hey everyone, it's the Eurobandit here once again, and behind me is my new car, which is a 1997 Audi A6 C4 sedan. Just like my other one, except this one is a sedan and it's not a diesel, nor is it a quattro. It's a front-wheel drive version. This particular example has a 1.8 liter inline 4 engine, which is not known of being one of their best engines. And ladies and gentlemen, I bought the cheapest Audi A6 in Europe. You won't believe how much I paid for this thing. I bought this car off a local Swedish auction site, and I was pretty much the only bidder on this particular car. So I won this car and I've paid 1,250 Swedish crowns, which is around 125 euros. And that makes it the cheapest running Audi A6 in Europe currently on the market. And it doesn't end there. Last owner recently purchased a brand new battery for it, and she paid 1,049 crowns for the battery alone. And that's a steal, to be quite honest. Sure, the battery was purchased around 4 months ago, but still, the car hasn't been used. The owner only took it to the inspection and it obviously failed the inspection. It's got a ton of rock chips and some rust on the hood. The front fenders are shot, both of them. Now some bad repairs have been done to it, as you can no doubt see. Really terrible. And of course the rust came through, as you can no doubt see. The edges of the fenders are pretty much gone. There's nothing. This is how it's supposed to look like, and it kind of ends here. And I'll show the other fender. Looks even worse. And there's no point of repairing them because, yeah, exactly. Now you know the reason. They're pretty shot, and I could also most likely poke my finger through there. Typical bad repair on the bumper. Some rust on the A-pillar. But other than that, as you can no doubt see, the body is in quite good condition, to be quite honest, and for the most part it's really straight. It's got some repair on the rear bumper. A handy trailer hitch. It's got the typical surface rust underneath it, but other than that, the inspection didn't complain about rust. These lower door plastic/rubber trims get warped after a while, and yeah, they don't look also great. So again, more terrible fixes with screws. I guess the other side looks even worse. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, let me take the inspection results and show you what's wrong with it and what it takes to actually take it back on the road. Alright, so first of all, this is the windshield. There's a huge crack across it, and the driver's side is not supposed to have any cracks, so without a doubt it needs a new windshield. Right, some other issues. Bad result on the rear brakes, and they're pretty shot. The parking brake is also shot, and the coil spring on the front left side is broken, and then it failed the emissions test at high idle. And those are pretty much all the things. The most expensive fix will be the windshield itself. Other than that, I'm pretty sure it can all be fixed. I'll also plug it in to read the codes. In other words, this car has plenty of potential, so it won't cost a fortune to bring it back on the road. Of course, it will cost a few thousand crowns or a few hundred euros, but it really doesn't take much to get it road legal again. Mismatched hubcaps. It's got steel rims. They're not rusty since they have summer tires, so they haven't been driven on salty roads, which is why they're alright. I can even take these and use them on my other Audi if I so desire. Right, let me show the engine. But first, let's take a look at the interior itself. Well, as you can no doubt see, it's in really good shape. Nothing's broken, nothing's missing. Everything's in great shape, although it's very dirty and it's in a urgent need of a complete interior detailing. And this one has the back seats left because it's not registered as a van. Even in here, it looks alright. Here's the engine in all its glory. It's a 1.8 liter inline 4 engine, 5 valves per cylinder, which which makes it a 20 valve engine on 125 horsepower. It's actually the natural aspirated version of the later 1.8 turbo engines, which have 150 horsepower. They weren't available in the mid-90s yet, but they came a bit later. These are not one of their best engines. These are known to have several issues. There's another 4-cylinder engine in these, which is a 2-liter 115 horsepower engine. That one has 10 less horsepower than this one, but it's a lot better and it's more reliable than this thing. But luckily this engine seems to run perfectly fine. Doesn't seem to have any obvious issues, no blown head gasket. Another issue I've noticed is the power steering pump itself. It sounds terrible when turning the steering wheel, but that's mainly due to the very low level of power steering fluid, so I'll top it off and hopefully it will shut up a bit. And of course, when the car is stationary or moving at a very low speed, the power steering doesn't really seem to be working. So I got several plans with this car. We'll start with plan A. Fix up, make it road legal and fix all the stupid rust, replace the fenders and basically drive it for a while and then sell it on. Plan B is to sell it as is, in the same condition, for a higher price. Or plan C, which is a worst case scenario, use it as a parts car for my other Audi. What do you guys suggest? Do you want me to save this car, sell it, or use it as a parts car? I'm leaning more towards plan A. I'd like to save this car, but right now I don't have the time. So what I'm instead gonna do is basically parking it away for the future, because I really want to get finished with the restoration of my A4 Opel, especially with the rust and bodywork. Then I have some more things to do, so I basically don't have any time as of now. And if you happen to watch this video in the future, I suggest you to check out my newer videos and see what happened to this car. Right, let's start it up. As you can no doubt see, it starts up really nicely, runs alright. No issues there. It's got 368,884 kilometers, and for this amount of kilometers the car actually feels great. And that shows you how well these 90s Audis are built. Much better than the newer junk. Now I'm gonna end this video. Hope you liked it. If you did, why not thumbs up. Check out my other videos, and if you like what I'm doing, why not subscribe, and I'll definitely see you next time. Cheers.